Today, while reading the Murli, I was just thinking that, there are so many belief systems that creep in from the copper age. And one is the belief system that I will die. So, death, because from copper age, untimely death begins. And then because I think I can die, I have fear of death. So, because of a belief system, you create an action and then you create a sanskar. And then that sanskar gets reflected in rituals and customs and so many things. So, this whole world, the culture that we create, what we call rasam rivaz in Hindi. So all this rasam rivaz, or the physical rituals and systems and customs also are a reflection of our sanskars that we have created. And those sanskars were created because of whatever happened from the copper age and the way we thought things are. So we didn't know the truth of everything. So we thought that there is a we started evolving some belief systems. So let's take this thing about death. So so in Satyug and Kalyug, Satyug and Treta Yuga, the golden age and silver age, we leave our body on time. Yes, so it is not like you leave your body anytime. There's a fixed time. So when somebody enters a body and leaves a body, it's pretty much fixed. So you will be in this costume for so many years and then you will leave. And the soul is very aware that I will leave the body. So there is no fear of death because death is very timely. Now, do you understand that precisely death is not the problem, uncertainty is the problem? Yes, what if I told you you will never die, live forever? Is it happy news? Yes, somebody living forever, never dying, very big problem, right? So it's good, to change your costume, change the role, change the context. Even an actor doesn't want to work in a television serial which runs for 15 years. He would like to work in something that ends in 1 year, 6 months, and then take another project and have another character. So that's always nice. But the thing is, we should know, until when. So uncertainty we don't like. So death is not the problem is uncertainty. So we would like change, but then change when, so we like the change that we anticipate. Yes, we don't like sudden change. Do you like sudden change, or you always like change, but we want change that we can expect. Yes, and we can plan for, and we don't want things to happen suddenly. So that's what happens. So in Satyug, it is pretty much, very organized and very timely, and there's no surprise or shock or uncertainty, and everything is organized and harmonious in that way. And so we don't know fear and worry in Satyug. So we don't know worry, we don't know fear. But how is everything so organized in Satyug? Because the Satyug is the time of reaping the harvest. So we are doing the effort, doing the karma now, and that's just that's just relishing the fortune. So that's why the fortune is pretty much fixed. So that's why everything there is, it doesn't surprise us or shock us, it is pretty much certain. So because Satyug is based on the karma that we do in Sangam Yuga, that's why Satyug is pretty much in order. And there we don't know fear, we don't know worry. And then from the copper age, because our account of credit is dwindled, it's we have finished that, finished eating up that fortune, and then we're very less of it. So that's why these uncertainties and these untimely things start happening. So then death comes any day without warning, without telling you, and it is everything becomes uncertain. And do you realize that as the degradation is increasing, the uncertainty is also increasing too much. So the uncertainty in the world today is at another level. So earlier, at least even when we talk about untimely death, we didn't think about dengue and COVID. So now dengue and COVID are like they take away life anytime. So you are infected with it, and then 2 days into it, 3 days into it, and then life is lost. So these things are also happening, and more so COVID. So now we are in a different phase of uncertainty, and even uncertainty in relationships has grown so much. So earlier people used to say that we are married for 7 births. Yes, so when somebody got married to somebody, they knew that they told that this is Saat Janam Ka Rishta, and we will be together for 7 births. But now you don't know whether you'll be together for 7 days. And I remember there was this one couple, and they came to the center and they were thinking about taking a divorce. And then I asked them, so how long have you been married? So they said that we have been married for so less that our marriage is not yet registered. So we are in between that process. So we got married, the registration has not yet happened, and we have doubts about this marriage. So we were thinking that if we are very certain that we don't want to move ahead, then probably we won't get it registered at all. So then it would be like, why get the marriage registered and why fight for the divorce? So we won't get it registered only. So they were saying that we are so much in doubt that we are thinking about not registering the marriage at all. So this is the world we live in. And so these days, you meet somebody very young, and then you say, you're single, they say yes. So then the next question you have to ask is, were you ever married? So they'll say yes, for 2 months, for 3 months, for 6 months. This is how the world is these days. So this is how it is happening. So there is uncertainty in health, there is uncertainty about death, there is uncertainty about relationships, there is uncertainty about money, because you may have a lot of money, and then tomorrow suddenly you know that something went wrong and everything is lost, or maybe you where you invested, that investment has failed. So I remember there was this brother, and he told me that he invested his whole life's savings in buying a flat, and he bought a flat, and then they came to know that the builder had cheated. So, there was cheating in that whole transaction, and it was a false transaction. And now even when, and it was a huge project, and so many people had got cheated, and everybody thought that so many are buying, so it can't be false, it can't be a fraud, and everybody bought. And then now there is very little hope that they'll get anything back from the court also, even if they fight. So then he said that, Didi, my heart just sinks when I think about it, and I have 2 daughters, and I always thought that, this flat that I'm buying will be some kind of something that I'll leave behind for them. But now that this has happened, I don't know, I feel like I will have a heart attack any day. And then I told him, and if you have a heart attack, then your daughters have no money and no father. Yes, so at least now they have no money and they have a father. But if you have a heart attack, that's not going to make it better. It's not like if you have a heart attack, there's a clause that they will give you the flat if you get a heart attack. No. So the flat is anyways gone. Now the father will also be gone. So if you love your daughter, stay alive. So that's the best you can do for them. So at least stay alive. Even if you can't give them money, give them the education, give them the willpower, make them confident enough that they can, that they don't mind not having the money. So you could do that for them, I told him. So you see that we are living in a huge uncertainty, and this uncertainty, you make an investment, you don't know whether it's going to go right, wrong. 10 years later, you come to figure out that where you parked your money was fraud, and then all your money is gone, and or something like demonetization happens, and then you don't know if you kept your cash at home, then that's not working and you can't exchange it. So all of those things are happening in this world, and because of these there is a lot of fear and worry for future. And then because of this fear and worry for future, there are a lot of customs and systems which we have put in place, which we practice, which are based on fear. Yes, so because of uncertainty there is fear, and because of fear there are these customs and systems in place. For example, so you see that astrology. So let's take astrology. So astrology will tell you, I don't know whether I should give my opinion about astrology or not, but I think that astrology as a science is true, because Baba says that everything is prefixed. So there could be a method of predicting it. That's not impossible totally. So astrology as a science could be true, but finding a good astrologer is a myth. So there is nobody who can really do it well for you. And then I once met this person, and she just walked. At that time the center was on the 2nd floor, and this lady, she came up and she said, I want to chat. I was very interested in the spirituality you teach, and I wanted to come and have a visit to Brahma Kumaris. So I was just crossing the center and I wanted to have a chat with you. So I said, okay, come, we'll chat. And then she told me, I'm an astrologer from Sri Lanka. And I told her, let me ask you some questions about astrology then. Then I asked her, so do you believe that the future can be predicted? So she said, yes. So then I said, do you think that the future can be changed? So she said, no, the future is prefixed and you cannot change it. So I said, but then if it is prefixed and I can't change it, then what is the need of an astrologer? So it will happen the way it has to happen. Then why do I need an astrologer? So she said that, yeah, so basically she said that when you know what's going to happen, you're well prepared for it. So, you can prepare yourself, brace yourself up for it. So I said, okay, but that you could do with knowledge also. So she said, yes, but who cares about the knowledge these days? So, people don't invest so much time, energy learning the knowledge. So that's why. So I said, no, but if you know, if you understand how to empower yourself spiritually and you learn the art of meditation and all, then do you need astrology? She said, of course not. Then because you can be prepared for anything and everything that's going to come your way. Then I asked her, then if that's the case, then why are people all going to the astrologer to change the future in India? So, everybody is going and they are thinking that probably if I wear this stone or if I do something or, something is done by the astrologer, then the future will change. So she said, that's why I've come to India. The market is really good. So you can tell anything and people believe and they will buy that and pay you, and that's why we've come. So she said, I told you my secret. So, so then I said, okay, all the best. I hope you make good use of the market. So this is how it is. So you see that pretty much we are looking at these rituals and customs and these practices. They are all fear based. And also, based on false beliefs. So the truth is, the future is there. Even if you predict it, you can't change it. So what you can do is prepare for it. And preparation means being spiritually empowered. So I, the soul, have to deal with the situations that come through the body, relationships, work, finances, or even the mind. I have to deal with everything. So I, the soul, should know myself, and I, the soul, have to connect with Baba, the powerhouse, and fill myself with the spiritual strength that is required to cross any obstacle that comes. This is knowledge. But then when you don't understand the truth, what you do is you are running after, and you have created so many rituals and customs which kind of are telling you that you can change the future, which cannot be changed. Whatever you have done will come up and nobody can stop that. You did paap in your past, no puja havan is going to stop it from coming at you. It's coming. So the only thing is you understand, accept, and brace yourself up. Bracing yourself doesn't mean just, having confidence, but having real spiritual strength, which comes through Raj Yoga, which Baba teaches us, which is Gyan Yoga, purity, and Seva. So if I have paid attention to purity, and if I have earned good karma through Seva, if I have meditated enough, drawn power from Baba, and if I have understood the truth and I am in acceptance of it, I am not resisting it, then I am in a good position to deal with it. But if you are not braced up for the truth, then, or you don't know the truth, then what you're doing is there is this whole institutions you're putting in place, which is all based on false belief systems and fear. So the false belief system behind astrology is you can change the future. Yes, and you can change it through wearing a stone or a or some ornament or something, or doing some puja or something. It doesn't change like that. That's what we need to understand. Then we don't know the truth that every soul will die, leave the body, and when you leave the body, you will take birth according to your sanskar and karma. Yes, not according to the way you are cremated. Yes, people say that if I leave the body and I have no son and they don't do the rites for me, or there are several things are not done properly or according to the rituals, then the soul will not get peace. But the thing is, the soul will find a way according to its sanskars and karma, not according to who performs the last rites or where the body is, where the ashes are put, or these things don't determine your onward journey. Your onward journey is dependent on what you do, not after death, but while you're alive. And this is what everybody needs to understand. So, there was this one girl and she told me that, my father died and could you just let me know where he is now? So, people come up with these questions. So, could you just open your third eye and see where my father is now after death? So I said, could you tell me something about his life? How was he as a person? What kind of a person was he? So she had all good things to say. So I said, if your father was the person that you are describing, he must be having a good life. Right? So you don't need to open your third eye. You can see through your two eyes also where some soul will end up after leaving the body. Because Baba says that's not rocket science. Whatever. So just like in a company, the closing account balance on 31st March is the opening account balance on 1st April. So whatever you do all day will determine, all year will determine the closing balance, and that will be the opening balance. It doesn't matter which book you recorded it on or how you maintained the register. No. It matters what was in the register. So how much of karma and what kind of sanskars you created, that's what matters. And this is why Baba says that, and there is a very good saying, a day is a microcosm of your life. And if you can maintain a good day every day, then your life, your afterlife, everything is sorted. So this is why Baba says, I look at the register of children, everyday register. So do you give a chart to Baba every day? That chart is your register. Whether you woke up according to Srimad, whether you ate according to Srimad, whether your remembrance was according to Srimad, whether you listened to Srimad, the Murli, or what you did all day in terms of thought, word, action, that's your chart. And according to your register every day, your karmic register. And karma, good karma is not just about not doing what you shouldn't do. It's more about doing what you should do. Because if you don't have a guideline about what you should do, then you will inevitably end up doing what you shouldn't do. Yes, so if you have no time to wake up, if you don't have a time for sleep, if you don't have a discipline of waking up, then obviously you will wake up at the wrong time. If you don't have a maryada, a discipline about what to eat or how to see or how to think, then obviously most of your thoughts will be dictated by Maya and vices. So Baba says that you must maintain an everyday chart about everything. So, are you doing things according to Srimad or are you not paying attention? And that chart will determine what will happen after you leave the body. Baba has in the Murli specified that, in the end, when destruction takes place and we leave the body, there will be nobody to burn the body. Yes, there will be no last rites. Will there be last rites performed? Were last rites performed during COVID? People died, there were no last rites performed. So even the children and the spouse, they didn't get to see the body also. So Baba says, we have seen that rehearsal already. If I told this to you 3 years back, you would say, how bizarre, how would somebody die and the family not perform the ritual? But we have been through a whole episode where the family, despite being alive, they didn't go and see the person off. They didn't go and do the rites. So, and in the end, everybody is dying simultaneously. So, who will perform the last rites of whom? So, Baba says, why are you stuck up in these rituals and these customs? So, Baba says, it doesn't matter. These customs, they don't determine where you will end up in your next life. So, people have these strange, even if you think you're very modern and broad-minded, there are these things lurking inside. And as, the person gets older and then they think that it's time to leave the body. Although, these days, it's anytime you can leave the body, you don't have to be old for it, but still, people only think about leaving the body when they are older. And when they're older, they start to think about these things, who will perform my last rites and how do I want to be cremated, and these things they start thinking about, because this belief system is so deeply rooted. And there was this one brother, and he is in Gyan for quite some time now, so maybe 15 years. And then now he is around 80 years of age. So when he came into Gyan, he was approximately 65 years of physical age. And then, recently he was telling me, Didi, when I came into Gyan and Baba used to talk about death and belief systems about death, I used to think, okay, I don't think so much about death and belief systems. But do you know that as I have grown older and now I'm 80, the only thing I think about is death and how I want to die and which children will reach me first, and all my children are abroad, so whether they'll be able to make it in time or not, or if my body will keep lying. So I have these certain bizarre fears which are coming, and I never knew I had these fears. So I was just telling him that, these fears and these belief systems are very deep rooted. But we have to understand through Gyan that this is not true. So, how we are burnt or cremated or what happens, these things don't determine, whether these things don't determine our afterlife or the next birth. So, there's a question, donating eyes or body organs is the correct decision? Yes, because it's anyways a body, so when you have left the body, if it can be of some use, good. Yes, but the thing is, people fill out that form and they say that, okay, I will donate eyes and body organs, okay, fine. But do you understand that donating, if really you're serious about donating, then you have to have a whole system in place where after you leave the body, people call out and ensure that they are donated. So it's not like you die suddenly and then because you fill the form, the donation will happen. So even donating and putting anything to use is a task. So while alive, using our eyes, ears properly is a task. Then even when we leave the body, to ensure that what we promised happens is a task. because you are already dead. You won't call and ask for you won't inform those people. So there has to be a whole system in place where those people around you do that for you. So that's also there. But there's no harm in, if your body can be used after you leave, very good. Anything that it can be used well is good only. So this is about, so Baba says that, there are these lots of rituals and systems, and then, people are worried about what you will get in your next life. So people donate and they do many things, but Baba says that if you donate to the vicious, then it doesn't earn you any punya karma. So these days, people just think that throw away your money and it will reserve a seat in Satyug. Yes, give it to anyone, and then people say that if I have given it with good intention, then it is used well. No. If it is used well, then it earns good karma. It's not like just because you kept throwing your money away to vicious people, even if they are poor or whatever. Yes, so even if somebody is poor, that doesn't mean that you earn good karma. If somebody is vicious, they are not leading their lives properly, and you also contributed to their viciousness, you earn the opposite of punya karma. So Baba says that these belief systems are also there, just throw away your money wherever you go and then it'll earn you a good next life. No. Baba says, ensure that your money is used for world service. And the only world service that's happening is being done by Shiv Baba through his instruments. So Baba says, use your money in a worthwhile way to help souls uplift themselves from the darkness of ignorance and vices. So that's what you need to do. And then Baba says, once you know the truth of things and you have done the right thing, and then you earn your fortune in Satyug, then in Satyug you will not have these rituals and customs. Yes, because in Satyug there is no fear of death, because there is no untimely death. And in Satyug there is no worry for the next birth, because the soul has the confidence that I will have a good next birth, because the soul is entitled to 21 births in peace and happiness, because the soul has done the effort in this Sangam Yuga. Do you understand that worry of the future comes from lack of confidence because you have done vikarma? Yes. So do you see these days that people are worrying about bizarre things? Earlier, there was a certain standard of worry, but these days worry is like, and I remember there was this one brother and he was in the center and he had come with his little daughter, and the daughter just went to the balcony, and then he couldn't sit still, so he was very worried. So I gauged that he's worried about his daughter in the balcony, that whether she's safe or not. So I told, you can check on her if you want. So then he went, and then what he said? He said, if you fall from this balcony, then at least 4 bones will be broken, and there's not even a hospital nearby. It will take some time to reach the hospital, and the nearest hospital is always full. So if I take you to a bigger hospital which is at a distance, maybe you'll bleed to death. So I was just standing there and I told that brother, so you have figured all this out in the 2 minutes that you were sitting. So he said, my mind works like that, Didi, whenever I see something or even not see something, I start thinking about the worst that can happen and all that, I have to do after that. And then this happened some days back, and then I observed that this is not a one alone case. So there are many souls who are suffering from this sanskar, and there is this acute sanskar of this bizarre worry and it's all related to karma. Do you know? So when the soul has, of course, karma is not a definite choice until we don't have gyan. So when the soul doesn't have gyan, then they do karma according to vices, and that's the norm. So then you keep doing everything because that's how the world taught you. And then when you keep acting according to vices, what happens is you are robbed of your spiritual energy. And then you have a lot of worry of the future. And here when we come to Baba and we learn good karma, so just by, creating a disciplined day according to Srimad and replicating it every day, we are earning a stock of good karma. And when the soul leaves the body also and goes to Satyug, for 21 births, you don't have any worry, any fear, because worry and fear come from that emptiness in the soul, which comes from, depletion happening according to karma. So this is why Baba says that in Satyug there will be no worry for the next birth, no fear of untimely death. These things won't exist at all, and that culture won't be there, those ritualistic practices won't be there, because these things will end here, because now you know the truth and now you will create sanskars according to the truth. So do we understand the truth that I am a soul, I leave the body, take another, the drama is predestined, you cannot change the future, only what you can do is, now that you have Gyan, perfect every second according to Srimad, and that will change your karmic story, and or not change, in fact that is the predestined drama of the time, that you will do this karma, and according to that you will go to Satyug, 21 births where there will be no untimely death, no cause for fear and worry. So this is something that Baba is saying. And then Baba is today saying that you must give a lot of importance to this study, and when you stop studying, you are not the only one stopping studying, but there are people watching you, and there are people getting inspired by you when you embrace Baba's path. And there are people who lose their inspiration or they lose hope in Baba because you stop studying. So don't forget that people are watching you. So make sure that you are consistent, because when Brahmins are inconsistent, it sends out a very wrong message. And because of that message, many other people lose hope and faith in Baba's path. And that is a reason for great disservice. And Baba says, if you do this kind of karma, then obviously you will have to pay for it and you will not get a good position in Satyug. So Baba says, be very wary of this. And then Baba says that people ask that, everybody says that have a family, have children, and you people are saying that don't have children, don't get married, or even if there is marriage, stay pure. So then Baba tells us that those people who told you that when you are a householder you have to be vicious, they told you that householders have no right to mukti and jivan mukti. Yes, those people told you that if you are a householder, you cannot reach Mukti and Jivan Mukti. But I am telling you that it doesn't matter whether you are a householder or a sannyasi or whoever, a child or an old person or whatever. You are the child of God and you have a birthright to the world of peace and world of happiness. So obviously, when you have a birthright to peace and happiness here, then you have to do what sannyasis do by leaving for the jungle. So Baba says, sannyasis told you that you stay impure in the household and you have no right to the world of peace and happiness. So you stay in this, you stay in this garbage always. But Baba says, no, I tell you that it doesn't matter whether you're in the jungle or at home. You can have a right to the world of peace and happiness, but for that you have to stay pure. Yes, and if people say that, how would the world continue? Then you must know that the biggest problem in the world today is not continuity. It is population explosion. So the problem of the world is not that there are less people in the world. The problem is there are too many. So we don't have to worry about, how other people will join. Many people are doing that work, right? So those souls who have to come will come. But what this world needs now is the power of purity so that we transition into heaven. So Baba says, the biggest problem in the world today is overpopulation, not lack of population. Okay, and these days because of overpopulation, there's poverty, there are so many problems. So Baba says that's not a valid question also. Okay, Om Shanti.